Okay. I wanted a good flake there. There was a little hinge from the other side, and that blended very nicely together. I wanted to run pretty well and the feather terminate pretty clean. That was just a little blender because it's fairly low already. I'm being selective, skipping over. Pretty thick flake. More bulb though. But I am bringing them over and lowering stuff. And in part, what I'm doing is I'm trying to control the bulb. I'm slowly dropping the percussor almost straight down, but I'm increasing the run and the effect of the flake by, I'm gonna skip this one and go over here because this isn't shaped exactly right. I'm gonna let this fan out. That didn't run well. Got too tentative with it, but that made up for it. You can play with stuff over time if you get good enough at it. You can emphasize some flakes and de-emphasize other flakes, or skip them and change what you do. That one broke. So this series right in here wasn't great. In part it was because of crustiness, but in part it was because the flakes were coming off thin. Didn't get that exactly right. But I still have time and sets that I can. Got more aggressive with that one because of what the other ones did. Okay. And again, if we want to do stuff really right, we would be using hand flaker. I'm trying to save time. I know that was a joke, but holding it off the pad. Taking off deltas. Just taking off the deltas. And see the edge is back pretty close to the center line. Starting to get a little dark here. Starting the wind pick up. I got a lot of rock that's going to be washing along the ground here. We're still doing all right, but I think I'm going back to the wood because the crustiness of this stuff seems like it prefers a little bit slower. heavier. This is still, I'll come over here and hit a fairly long one. Okay. Skipping over to here and putting some pressure on it. Did quite a bit of sinking of that and ran it over to here because that was really thick right in there. Unfortunately, there's that white stuff in here at the edge, and I'm not at all sure that even if I turn this and get that platform a little more right, sometimes the type of material you put the platform on is a big issue in what happens. We'll try it, but don't be surprised if it's a bad result. I kind of grabbed it high so it went okay. It started trying to fail in there, but it went okay because I grabbed it a little bit high to help catch more flintless concrete. That, on the other hand, completely blew through. I'm hearing some rumbling. That wasn't bad. Contours aren't looking that bad. Not that bad. Of course, somewhere along in all this, you got to make your decision if you're going to have a wider first stage type point with percussion scars still partially showing on it, or if you're going to have a resharpened thing or whatever where it's all pressure scars or what. But it's getting fairly clean. For the moment. So that came from this side, and so I'm switching back to, well, first of all, I'm going to get the sharpness off it. I'll worry about the deltas in a minute. 8 minutes. Wifey just signaled me for food. I'm going to do the run to this side and then clean the stuff up off the driveway in case it starts raining. And may or may not come back depending upon what Mother Nature allows. Well, it still isn't right for getting over to that. I don't have a good platform to do that, but we'll see. It's not essential because we're still got a little space. Okay, that isolated. There's the issue. There's a bunch of thickness right here. And I've got one platform turned that way, but the other thing is turned this way. So that did run over there and take it out, and the pressure on it did lower it a little. So I'm skipping the one that's turned the wrong way. I'm going to hit on the side of it. And that went well. Came over to here. So this side's getting clean. I know I'm showing you management by crisis. I'm not suggesting that you do this way. I mean, for all I know, you don't even want to be an influencer. Now, all of these are meant to do some good. All these are meant to lower and regularize and get things better than they have been to this point. And I'm being more careful in doing that. And I know this looks like oblique flaking, and I mean the pattern of it is oblique, but that doesn't matter now unless I'm going to leave that pattern on the finished point. And it's a pleasing pattern. It may not be a correct, quote-unquote, pattern for some types, but I could always say that this is a St. Mary's Hall large knife Angostura. I can always say that. Well, I hinged it up there, but I don't care because those are going away anyway. That's actually kind of a cool pattern, but I mean, it depends. If you like it, it's kind of cool. If you don't like it, then bleh. Okay, so I'm stopping for now. Basically, the game plan will be another couple of sets with more of the same, and then maybe I'll do like a full-length flute and have it be a really long Angostura Folsom. It's a possibility. I don't think I've ever done one of those, so it would be a good thing to add to the keeper case. I may be back. If I don't come back, then you'll know this was the last video.